Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan, and we're in to the NFL Week 8 schedule. Man, how time flies when your team's not terrible. This is great. As a Bills fan, I'm having a blast this year. But hey, let's get right into Thursday Night Football, and we have Washington going to visit Minnesota. This is going to be a tire fire. Seriously. Does anybody think Washington has a chance? I mean, they had all of the elements on their side in this last week's game, and they still lost terribly. There's no such thing as the elements in a dome. So, yeah, there's nothing that's really going to help them in this one. Minnesota's been red hot. The only worry I have here is that Kirk Cousins, I still question his leadership a lot. And when you have a situation like that, you worry about the teams that you should beat, that everybody knows you should beat, coming up and sneaking one in because, well, you weren't keeping the guys focused. And that's the only worry here. I really don't think there's much of a chance of it, though, because they've already had that kind of a hiccup this season. So if they have that hiccup again with a leadership issue, yeah, that's pretty bad for that, $84 million man you got there? But no, I don't see that happening. They're too good, all right? Minnesota's defense is fantastic. They've got a great running game, and nobody can stop Adam Thielen. And, as much as I dislike Kirk Cousins, he is never going to let Washington beat him, okay? Just never. It doesn't matter how bad they are. Washington is a team that he's going to stick it to every single time just because they refused to pay him and respect him the way he felt he should have been. So NFL players leave chips on their shoulders as long as possible. I mean, Tom Brady still thinks about the fact that he was drafted in the 6th round, okay? And, I would too if I was the best quarterback ever. But yeah, he's going to hold on to that burn from Washington, and it's going to power him through. He's probably going to have an amazing game. So I would absolutely start Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen because they're going to go off. Brandon Cooks, maybe not so much. The Washington defense is actually pretty stout. They just they don't have an offense worth a damn in front of them on the other side to really keep things going. There's bad coaching. There's just so many different factors that are taking away from some actually good personnel. So, I have no hope for anybody in Washington. As per usual, the only person I would suggest even thinking about fantasy football-wise is Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry always gets the job done when he has at least 7 targets. And in a game where you're not going to have all the epic rain that they had last week, he's going to get at least 7 targets. He's the only person worth throwing the ball to. He's probably going to get in the 10 range. So, he always turns 7 targets into at least 5 catches and 50 yards. So if you're in a PPR league, you got a solid 10 points out of that man almost every week. And he can go off. He's got a lot of talent, so he can break a tackle and get into the end zone on almost any play. So that's always great for receivers to have a consistent baseline and a top-end ceiling. So put Terry McLaurin in, but nobody else from Washington should be thought about at all. Definitely start Cousins, definitely start Cooks, definitely start Thielen. I would throw, Brandon Cooks in there? Yeah, as well. And definitely start the Minnesota defense. They are going to go off. So, if you don't have them for whatever reason in your league already owned, pick them up because it's going to be a great week for them. But, the line on this game is 16 points, and I think that's about right. But I would bet Minnesota because they're talking about starting Haskins, and anytime you got a rookie quarterback going up against a good defense and a quarterback that's been burned by this franchise really wants to stick it to him, they're going to run the score up. So 16 points might be a little light. So betting-wise, I'd go for Minnesota in spite of that big spread. Check out the rest of my videos for more interesting games to talk about. Yay, right? And hit up the Nerdy Sports Fan Weekly as well. I've got some juicy tidbits on what's going on in the league these days.